Organisms and Population Part 2. So now let us look into populations. So population is a relatively permanent aggregation or grouping of interbreeding individuals of the same species that are present in a particular space or area at a given time. All the members of a population have the same gene pool, same morphological, anatomical and behavioral traits, and they undergo the same life cycle. They experience similar ecological processes at particular stages of life cycle and have the same adaptations to the environment. Now, what are the different attributes of a population? One is the population density. So, it indicates the size of the population. Population density is the number of individuals of a population found in a unit area or space at a given time. It is known either by the total count or random sampling. Now, the first aspect of that will be natality or birth rate. It refers to the average number of individuals added per unit population due to births, hatching, and germination. There are two types of natality. One is potential natality and another is realized natality. Potential natality is the maximum birth rate that can be achieved under ideal conditions of the environment, reproductive age, and sex ratio. Realized natality is the actual birth rate obtained under the existing conditions. It is inversely related to the environmental resistance. Now, mortality or death rate. It refers to the average number of natural deaths per unit population per unit time. It is also of two types, specific mortality and realized mortality. Specific mortality is the minimum death rate that occurs due to natural phenomenon of senescence. Realized mortality is the actual death rate occurring in a population due to all causes, which might be due to old age, disease, predation, nutritional deficiency, competition, etc. Vital index is the percentage ratio of mortality minus mortality in a unit population in a time. Now, vital index is equal to mortality, natality by mortality into 100. Now, let us look into population dispersal. It is the movement of individuals on their propagules into and out of an area. This changes the size of the population. It is of three types: immigration, emigration, and migration. Now, immigration is a permanent inward coming of individuals from outside into existing population. In plants, it occurs due to dispersal of seeds. In animals, it is due to better availability of food and shelter and lesser resistance from local population. Emigration is a permanent outward movement of individuals from a population for settling into a new area. Emigration results in decrease of local population and it does not occur in plants, but in animals it occurs due to natural calamities, scarcity of food, shelter and meat. Now migration is a two-way type of movement of the whole population from and into an area. Size of the population does not change. It is to avoid unfavorable conditions. For example, migration by migratory birds like Arctic tern, Siberian cranes, etc. Now let us look into the differences between individuals and population. In individuals, we only talk of the birth. We do not talk of the birth rate. And in individuals, we talk of the death of an individual. But for a population, it is going to be a death rate. And for an individual can only be either a male or a female. And there can be no ratio. But in a population, you will try to find out the number of males to the number of females as a ratio. And it is referred to as the sex ratio. Now age pyramids. Now there are three ecological pyramids. Now if you look at it, each pyramid will be having three components. One is the pre-reproductive component, reproductive part and the post-reproductive. So it indicates the number of individuals who are in different phases in pre-reproductive, reproductive and post-reproductive. Pre-reproductive individuals are young individuals who will enter the reproductive age after some time. Reproductive individuals are the ones who are adding new individuals to the population, and post-reproductive individuals are the ones who do not take part in the reproductive process. Their small number indicates a growing population. Large number indicates stable or declining population. Now let us look at the age pyramid here. An age pyramid is a graphical representation of proportion of various age groups of population with pre-reproductive at the base, reproductive in the middle, and post-reproductive at the top. Here you can find that in the pre-reproductive phase, if the number of individuals are more, then it is an expanding population. If the individuals in the stable is in pre-reproductive and reproductive almost the same, then it is stable. If the reproductive phased individuals are less in the age pyramid when compared to reproductive and post-reproductive, then it is a declining population. Now let us look into population density. So population growth is the increase in size of the population over a period of time. Now population growth occurs when the tendency to increase is greater than tendency for decrease. Now what are the factors that really help in deciding the population density? One is the immigration. Immigration means you're adding the individuals. Natality is the birth rate. That means you're adding the individuals to the population density. Mortality is the death, so it is subtracting the number of individuals from the population. Emigration is outward movement, so the number of individuals will be reduced in the population. So if we look at it, it is immigration is represented by I, natality by B, mortality by D, and emigration by E. So if we have to ideally speak, for a population density, we will be looking at the two factors that add up to the density are natality and immigration. The ones that decrease the density are mortality and emigration. Growth models. So these growth models, let us look into the population growth. It is the increase in the size of the population over a period of time. NT is the population at a particular time in the beginning. NT plus 1 is the population after a period of time T plus 1. Population size change depends on four factors as we have discussed: natality B, immigration I, mortality D, and emigration E. That is, nt plus 1 will be equal to nt plus b plus I minus d plus e. Now population growth will be 0 if both the additives and the negatives are equal. Negative growth or decline in population occurs when the tendency for decrease is greater than the tendency for increase. Now let us look at the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is the maximum number of individuals of a population which can be provided with optimum resources for their healthy living and of the environment. Beyond the carrying capacity, the resources become deficient and individuals are starved of food and shelter. Now let us look at the factors that really help in the growth. So abiotic and biotic factors. So if we look at abiotic factors, it provides inorganic nutrients to plants, water, shelter and suitable temperature. A low or high temperature excludes a number of population from an area. Hibernation or estivation occurs in others. Biotic factors control competition and food availability. Through food chains, different species control populations of one another, and pathogens do decrease the size of the population. Now, environmental resistance is the sum total of all the limiting factors that prevents a population to realize its full potential. It tends to decrease the population by checking biotic potential from being realized and increasing the mortality rate. Environmental resistance comprises of limited food, disease, predation, adverse weather conditions, lack of proper shelter, competition, etc. Now, let us look at biotic potential, what it means. It means it is the maximum potential, that is natality or birth rate, which can be achieved when the environmental sources are non-limiting. Intrinsic rate of natural increase or per capita increase in population is optimum with environmental conditions favoring maximum natality and minimum mortality. The sum of the environmental factors that limits the population of size and keeps check on the realization of intrinsic rate of natural increase is what is known as environmental resistance. It comprises of abiotic and biotic factors. The value of environmental resistance is inversely proportional to the difference between the carrying capacity K and number of individuals in the existing population En. So that is why you have got in the growth models, if you look at it, the graphical pattern which is obtained when a population growth is plotted against time is known as the growth population growth form or a model. And here you see two models. One is the exponential J-shaped and logistic or the S-shaped curve. J-shaped or exponential growth form, at any point of time, population size does not reach an equilibrium. J-shaped growth form has got three phases: establishment or the initial phase, which is also called as the lag phase, exponential phase, that is the log phase, and another is the crash phase. Now, lag phase is a slow rise in the population as the initial size of the population is very small. In the log phase, population size increases rapidly, and in the crash phase, a point is reached where the population size declines suddenly due to mass scale deaths. This occurs when the food chains are short or excess of human interference. It occurs in many insect populations. They show an explosive increase in the number during the rainy season but almost disappear during the end of the rainy season. And now if you look at exponential growth form, it can be represented mathematically by the following equation. dn by dt is equal to b minus d into n, where b is the birth rate, d is the death rate. Let b minus d be equal to r, or intrinsic rate of growth. dn by dt is equal to rn. Now d is equal to rate of change, n is equal to number of existing individuals, t is equal to time. R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. dn by dt will be equal to rate of change in the population size. Now let's look at the logistic growth model. It too has got three phases. It is called lag phase, that is growth or log phase, and deceleration phase. In the lag phase, there is a slow increase in population. In the log phase, after a population size reaches the takeoff stage, this period starts. It continues till environmental resistance comes into play. Deceleration phase, growth rate slows down in this phase, and this leads to the equilibrium phase when the population size reaches the point of carrying capacity of an area. Now formula dn by dt is equal to Rn into k minus n by k, that is equal to Rn into 1 minus n by k, that sorry, n by k. D is equal to rate of change, n is equal to number of existing individuals, t is equal to time, dn by dt is equal to rate of change in population size, r is equal to intrinsic rate of natural increase, k minus n by k, or 1 minus n by k is equal to environmental resistance, with k being the carrying capacity of the area. Now, the last, the life history variations. So, according to this, populations evolved to maximize their reproductive fitness, also called Darwinian fitness, in the habitat in which they live. Now, Darwinian fitness is the fitness of the genotype measured by its proportional contribution to the gene pool of the next generation. Population always evolves towards increasing their Darwinian fitness with high R values according to the habitat in which they live, and it depends upon the lifespan, breeding, and the offsprings produced.